Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fantastic week of Rocket League CCL. We are in week 6 here. I'm with one of my favorite casters. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, you're too kind. Yeah, my name is Chad Compton. We're here once again, Rocket League. DSU's coming into this matchup at 1-4, and the USD Coyotes are coming in at 3-2. They're looking to be a pretty tough team to beat, but I think I've got faith in DSU tonight to come away with the W.
Well.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, or maybe you do know, DSU and USD have a sort of rivalry going on in the Rocket League community between, there's just always been a rivalry in the Rocket League scene for CCL, and USD and DSU have always been so tight games. I love watching these games. I love playing the games, especially. I played them last semester, and, very tight team, very tight games. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And so I'm super excited to see how these guys match up.
Yeah, I think it'll be really awesome. Obviously we talk about rivalries and everything like that, but it's really just a bunch of friendships where, when they go to play each other, they maybe talk a little extra smack, and it ends up being a pretty good time. But yeah, any single time we see these two teams play, I feel like it's always one team is going to be, maybe really well off this season. They're going to have an incredible record. Maybe the other team doesn't, or maybe they're more even. But no matter what, it always looks like the teams are like 0-0 reset. Like it's a completely different matchup than we're normally used to seeing. When we see like record comparisons and whatnot. So it'll be exciting. DSU. We're hoping to come away with our second W of the season tonight after a bye week win, I suppose.
Yeah, it's been and CCL is a very tough league to be in. It's very competitive. It's the best of the best that are in each college. So there's a lot of competition there, and to be able to claim yourself the winner, that takes a lot of skill to back that up. And I've played with Def Moss and Painted Heart before, and I also actually played with Z Wales and some of the other people from USD. Yeah. And they're all very good in their own kind of respect. They're Painted Heart very mechanical, Def Moss very good at saving, and now Gravy kind of tossing him into the mix mid-semester. I'm really excited to see what kind of role he plays when playing these people, USD.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And I mean, obviously you've seen these guys, you've seen this squad play a little bit more this season than I have. I think the last time I was here in the booth with you was week 2. But now, I mean, what do you think looking forward to this matchup today? Do you think we need to maybe see from DSU to kind of come away with the win?
It's going to be a lot of making sure that you're not getting on that kind of scramble defense. I see a lot of teams, they get a little bit discombobulated on their rotations. Maybe they're at a boost, or they're just a little bit scared even. And they really need to make sure that the rotations are solid on defense. They're not overcommitting on certain things. And if they keep that pressure on defense, eventually they can transition that into a strong offense, and that's a really strong thing to get into. But we're getting into this game here, so we're going to go ahead and transition on over. And, I'm super excited. Like I said, this is going to be a very tight game. I know that all of these guys, they're all in actually another league, DCRL. Yeah. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these guys play based off of the things that I've seen from them all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fun that you guys have a second league going on too, just to get some more competitive experience and whatnot. Having a second outlet to be competitive and to be in that environment is obviously something that can carry over to different tournaments. And so hopefully these guys will be showing off some of their newly learned team play today.
We see Z-Wales here for a shot a little bit too high on the backboard there. Painted Heart a little bit awkward, but gets a nice 50 as he tries to clear it out. And now pinched back into their corner. Sodak Jack going up for a shot, but gets cleared away by it looks like Def Moss. And now Z-Wales taking it up on the right side wall. A lot of boost to play with. Gets past one, but it gets bumped on the way.
An immediate explosive offense here from the USD guys, and of course, as I say that, Def Moss is going to run this down the field. But I mean, I remember watching last semester and seeing that USD was a really aggressive team, almost so much so that it almost hurt them in some regards. But they still obviously had a fantastic season, and we're looking forward to maybe seeing if they changed up their strategy a little bit from last season.
Yeah, and I really enjoy playing and watching threes. It almost feels like a 1v1v1 in that sort of sense. Like, it's almost like, okay, I have to get past this person, and that's kind of like my 1v1 that I'm playing. And then if it gets over to my teammate, then they're doing like their own little 1v1, and I'm doing my own thing and rotating off. And it's so much fun to see the synergy kind of connect eventually, where you get a nice pass play or a really good bounce pass over to your teammate, or your teammate picks up a shot that you missed. It's so much fun.
Right, and of course we have this battle-tested DSU squad that's had, they've had a lot of trials and tribulations through the last couple of seasons that they've played, but they're angry. They're ready to get some wins, and they're ready to show these guys what they're made of. So it'll be exciting to see how they maybe put forward their strategy here.
Oh, Z-Wells has just one more touch in him, and Painted Harp not able to read it in time.
Honestly, a really nice pass there. And
I didn't think that he
Z-Wales
would have
just
enough
cleans
boost
up.
to get a second touch there.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? That's why these guys are doing this, and I'm not. I would have had no confidence going up for that. But a really good pass there kind of sets him up for just like a nice over the head goal there.
Z-Wales grounding the ball. Gravy takes it away. Painted Harp a little bit awkward there. Gravy trying to keep possession, but gets kicked away. Def Moss getting a nice 50 up mid. Looks like someone from DUSD is going to jump up for it. Painted Harp just a little bit too low, but gets a nice save from Gravy there.
Yeah, I like Painted Harp, despite the fact that maybe a couple of the times he was going for the ball there, it was a little awkward. I like the initiative. Sometimes if you miss the ball, it almost is like an unintentional fake out, and I know you've definitely seen that before. But those kinds of situations are really nice. Oh, and just as I'm saying that, Painted Harp is going to awkwardly touch the ball there for a missed goal.
Ready for a redirect on that? Oh, not quite. Painted Harp trying to keep a little bit of pressure up going here. Def Moss taking now. Goes up the wall, gets a nice bump on him. Not quite able to follow, though, as it gets redirected over to DSU's side. Yeah, I do kind of want to go on what you mentioned earlier, though. Actually, Painted Harp, he has kind of a saying that, like, we've done VOD reviews and whatnot with each other. And he has a saying that, like, even if you don't think that you're going to touch the ball in this situation, it's better to go for it and have them think that you might than it is to not go for it at all and then give them the free space.
Yeah, and I mean, although sometimes like those aggressive plays can maybe not pan out the way that you want them to, I think I definitely agree with him that the aggressive plays are something you should definitely be making more often than not. You don't take risks, you're not going to get goals, right?
Exactly. Gravy now in the corner. Sodak Jack trying to get a nice shot off, but it gets blocked by Painted Harp. Now Def Moss taking it into the corner, trying to chase him down. Gets a bump on him. Not quite the pass he's looking for, though.
Yeah, I really like that pressure there from Deft. Really catching him out of their rotation. I mean, if he was just moments faster, and obviously not his fault, but if he was just moments faster to that ball there, it probably would have been honestly just a clear goal.
Gravy now taking it out of their corner. Painted Heart playing right behind him, and it gets crossed over. Tornadoes now no boost, gets double 50'd, but it looks like he might win that there. And now Z-Wales taking it up the wall, gets a kick out.
Oh, and what was gonna be a really nice pass, although Tornadoes redirects it back towards the goal there. 1 minute left, and it's only 1-0 here. We've seen a lot of exciting shots here by the DSU side, but just nothing's been able to land. And I think honestly, that's in part of this this Coyote defense here. They're really just not letting anything through.
Yeah, if they want to get this extra goal in and try to keep this game going, they're really going to have to kind of, catch them at a weird spot and, really try to execute on that, because you only have, 1 or 2 more chances being in the last 30 seconds here. Z-Wales now taking it up, getting it past one, gets kind of a bump on him. Painted Harp not quite able to get it to clear. Now Z-Wales taking it into the corner, gets a nice pass. Gravy on the wall, trying to play a little bit of defense here. Gets it past one.
Oh, yeah, that was a very nice move there by Gravy. This could...
Lots of space.
That's big. Look at that.
And Def Moss giving him the goal.
Gravy, whoa. Look at this whole, that whole series right before the replay started there was honestly super impressive. Just kind of that ball control. A master of his craft there as he just kind of demonstrates how he's just like, yeah, I'm just better. And let me walk right by you guys. And what an incredible redirect. Here with 17 seconds left, and it's 1-1. Gravy's going for it again.
Oh, not quite on the double touch, and Painted Harp not quite able to get the shot either. Def Moss being the last man back, plays a nice defense there, kicks it over towards. Now Painted Harp taking it, gets a nice clear over one. Tries to get a backboard touch, and he gets it! It's a 1 second shot!
Hey, now we've seen crazy things happen in 1 second, but that was incredible.
Oh, wow. Sodak Jack just not playing backboard defense there and was able to catch it, and what a perfectly placed shot. So fast and so accurate.
Gotta love to see that close to time pressure there by our DSU guys. And DSU is going to take this first match in the series here It's going to be 1-0, and definitely some really awesome stuff there by Painted Harp and Gravy. But don't sleep on Deft. He had some pretty awesome defense and honestly some really nice redirecting over in the middle section of the field.
Yeah, and what a great opportunity for Gravy to get it past two people, and even despite being on 0 boost, gets it past the third man as well. And you just like perfect execution there, and way to see that mistake that they were making, committing 2 people at once. And what a nice way to turn that game around for him.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, one thing that's really nice about winning the first, and we've talked about this a lot, I know, as we did on week 2, is winning that first game is always just a really nice mental burden that has been kind of lifted from you. You can play, that you have at least 2 more, 3 more matches remaining in the series. So yeah, I think the DSU is definitely happy about that. And Tornadoes is gonna get a pretty nice little double tap there, I think.
As Z-Wales gets it past 1 and doesn't quite get the double touch on it. Def Moss going for the double touch, of course, and he just had enough teammates to back him up there and get it in. So 30 seconds in, USD is gonna pick one up, but looking at a lot of time to score. And DSU having a little bit more confidence, like you mentioned earlier. Winning that first game is super important for them. And Gravy, you out with the shot, but not just a little bit too high.
What a nice pass there by Painted Harp. That was really cool. Gravy just kind of comes in a little steep and pops it up maybe a little too high. Good defense there by Deft.
Tornadoes kicking it back, but not before he gets demoed. Painted Harp now on the wall. A lot of boost to play with. Gets it past 1, but gets bumped off. Gravy now going for a shot, but it gets redirected. Def Moss now jumping up high. Tornadoes going for a nice ground pop, but he gets demoed by Gravy, and now Painted Harp with the ball alone. Double commit there.
Oh,
he have a shot?
Look
He
at
does!
That. Wow. What a defensive whiff there by USD. That was free defense there.
No.
Wow, and just a miscommunication there by their 2 guys, and they're just going to run right into each other, let that ball scoot right past.
And that miscommunication mainly started from that very first demo that they got on Tornadoes, and then it just became scramble defense. And that's something that I talked about even before the first game started, was that, as long as you don't get in that scramble defense, you should be okay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was just a moment where they got scared and they double committed there.
Some teams can play that so much better than others, but I mean, obviously, having a player down and then come in at an awkward time can be hugely beneficial to the team that demoed. But yeah, we're gonna see some USD pressure here. Yeah, DSU is just gonna play 2 on goal and easily clear that ball out.
Tornadoes not with a great clear here. Painted Harp's gonna go up the wall probably. No, he does not. And now Z-Wales there for a shot.
Oh
Painted Harp
man,
gets a nice clear.
almost a kind of an awkward save there from Gravy. It was kind of left the ball hanging over the upright, and if they were there for it, it could have been kind of tragic, honestly.
Painted Harp trying to go for an angle, not quite, and Gravy picks it up, and that's going to be another one for DSU.
Wow, and surprising to say that the offensive pressure that DSU is exerting on the USD guys is not nearly as much as USD is exerting on our guys here, but DSU's precision, just being able to look at a shot and hit it 50% of the time is awesome. Seeing that from them.
Painted Harp now taking it over the wall, trying to get a shot off, but looks like Z-Wales is going to be there for it. Gravy now getting a nice shot on goal again, and I think Painted Harp actually got a bump to clear open the net for him.
My goodness. This just kind of explains it all right here, where Gravy is just kind of made himself a standout player on this squad with this really incredible ball control and ideas here about, and of course Painted Harp there with a little bit of a touch assist. Oh no. Oh man.
And a sneaky little kickoff goal from USD there.
Yikes. You hate to see a little ace. I think I don't think that was entirely Def's fault. Might be a little bit of a slow rotation there from the back line. It's just kind of an unfortunate thing to see.
It's all right, though. You've got 1 goal. You have a little bit of buffer room to play with. It's not the end of the world to give up that 1 goal. Of course,
Right.
you do want to be careful, but you have to understand that it's also not, end all be all because you gave up this 1 kickoff goal. What a crazy redirect! It looks like Def Moss is going to be able to get the save.
Nice. Wow, what a last second save there by Def. Any later that would have probably been a goal, but he's like, oh man, just wipe the sweat off the forehead and get back into the game.
Gravy now taking this one up, but it gets kicked back by Sodak Jack. Tries to get another one, but he's out of boost. Now Gravy and Def Moss playing both here. Painted Harp kicks it out towards mid, but a little bit scary, but Gravy kicks it away.
Yeah, those mid clears, man. That's always a time of of Rocket League where your heart rate maybe jumps a little tiny bit when you see the ball over midfield on your side. It's just like, oh man.
And I mean, when you're at this caliber of play, you almost just kind of have to assume that your teammate's going to be there. And
Right.
if they're not, it's almost their fault. I mean, it's not your fault that you passed it mid. You were trying to go get like a pass opportunity there. And so you're getting to a point, oh, Deathmoss almost had a nice shot, but it gets redirected. Now Gravy for another shot, and looks like Deathmoss got a bump there.
He popped that up into the air, and then Deft kind of was like, you know, and then Gravy's back on his own pass, passed it to himself for a nice goal there over the middle.
That'll put them 2 up here on game 2, 150 left to go. USD really going to have to start working on their defensive rotations, making sure they're not playing front post if they want to stay in this here. I'm seeing a lot of being like front post play, kind of playing just a little bit awkward on defense. Oh, and Painter Sharp with a nice save.
Oh my goodness, these guys have some insane defensive timings on USD right now. Like that whole series, that should have been a USD goal, but our guys are just really putting the pressure on USD here defensively, and I think that's honestly been the reason we've been able to maintain this lead.
Painted Harp over to Gravy now. Gravy passes it upfield. Looks like no one's able to follow, so Z-Whales now kicks it up high for Tornadoes. Kind of gets a touch, but Deathmoss is able to follow it up.
Oh man, I'm locked in here. I'm focused. This is a good matchup here. Yeah, and we're just gonna see. I mean, honestly, I think it's just the frantic play here with 1 minute remaining. You're going to see USD. They got to put a point on the board almost in the next 10 seconds or so. Otherwise, this is going to be really hard for them to get 2 in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, I agree. You know, playing a little bit of boomer ball, trying to get something to work out for them. Tornadoes kind of with a fake there, and it might be an open net. Gravy not in time to get the ball.
And that 10-second goal, and well, there it is.
Caster curse us out here? Is that what you're doing?
No, I would never.
No, what a nice catch from Tornadoes. They're able to slide it and get a really good positioning there. I mean, if it was on the left side of the goal, Gravy would have probably gotten there. But unfortunately, had a really good timing on that one. But 3-4 left to go, 40 seconds. We're going to see a lot of USD pressure coming out here. And the Z-Whale's going for a shot. It's a little bit too high. Tornadoes now for a shot. Painter Hart gets a nice save.
That pressure on the goal is insane. And I'm sure that with this low amount of time remaining and honestly the game on the line, it's just really hard to like see the ball that close to home.
Deathmoss now throwing it back towards Painted Harp. Painted Harp on 18 boost, gonna have to make something work. Doesn't quite make it work. Now, Deathmoss gets a nice 50 in the corner. Gravy now deciding to go up for this. It's a nice clear out. Might have one more. He does not. Tornadoes gets a nice 50 on him. Now it's 5 seconds left to go. Painted Harp gets a nice touch into the corner. It looks like this game might die.
Oh, and they're gonna get one last attempt
USD
to get something going, but Gravy says no.
Gravy kicks it down.
Yeah, that good game there from DSU. And we're up 2-0. Continuing on to game 3. DSU's looking to close this out. Having that 2-0 lead, that feels great. And honestly, USD got so close to bringing it back. I mean, you got to applaud those guys for the amount of effort that they put into that. Obviously, you know, getting that goal that I said that they needed to get, and then trying to follow that up with something. But the DSU defense and honestly the USD defense make this to where these games are. I guess I don't know if you consider 4-3 to be lower scoring, but they're tight because the defenses are just so good that it honestly wastes a lot of time between goals.
I think that, you know, DSU is they're doing a fantastic job of taking advantage of some of the USD's defensive flaws. You know, I see a lot of people playing front post on defense. You know, Tornadoes and Z-Whales and Sodak Jack, all 3 of them almost.
Yeah.
You know, they maybe be double committing on defense and, you know, going for a couple of just weird plays up on, like, not playing backboard defense. That's something that's so important in this kind of league, is to play backboard defense, because people, they can score those double touches. You know, they really can, you know, make them count. And so you got to play backboard defense a little bit better. You know, they're playing front post when they should be playing back post defense, and they're taking advantage of that. And they're doing a fantastic job of scoring because of it. Yeah,
and honestly, like, this has been a problem that I've seen DSU have, is like the lack there of the backboard defense, and seeing teams doing some awfully flashy things to our guys, unfortunately. Not that those things aren't fun to watch, but it sucks when it happens to the team that you're you know, maybe rooting for. But now it just seems that honestly DSU's in this game, the identity of the team is they're very defensive. They're very methodical. They're very patient. And that's what's good, right? Because we're taking our chances, but we're not overextending. And that's a really big thing. And honestly, you know, the identity being that of the team, I think it's it's good for strong team play.
And I mean, you don't need to overextend when you're ahead. You don't really need to do anything. All you have to do is just kind of hang back, play your defensive role like you need to. Gravy with a nice shot, but it's off the backboard. But like I was mentioning before, just play defense. That's all you really have to do. When you're up ahead, there's no need to go for a crazy goal to win the game. I mean, you're already winning.
Right. And I think another thing too is that you're seeing USD, and they're doing a lot of really flashy offensive plays here, getting the ball up, trying to hit these aerials and everything like that. And the DSU guys are just identifying it so quickly, almost running this like kind of really nice like stacked roster here, where like one guy's always up front and one guy's always kind of
with a lot of space here. Not quite.
Wow. Yeah, and they're just putting so much pressure on USD now. Like this almost looks like two completely different teams here.
Sodak Jack passing it over to Painted Heart. Painted Heart not quite able to get the shot. Defmoss there for a double touch, not quite able to get it though. Gravy with a shot, but it gets saved by Z-Whales.
He was trying to bait Z-Whales up a little bit to try and jump, but unfortunately, I think he kind of read that one like a book.
Gravy now playing a little bit of defense here. Tornadoes
really
out of
awkward
boost.
position for DSU.
Here
we go.
Able to get a nice 50 on it. Tornadoes throws it high, or Sodak Jack, I'm sorry. Looks like Gravy is able to kick it away. Might have one more touch, not quite, just a little bit too shy of boost.
Man, if he touches that, that's a goal. Oh, but a lobbing shot over the middle there, and he's just gonna miss it. It's gonna be blocked by Z-Whales.
250 left to go, and Gravy with another fantastic angle.
These guys are moving the ball in the right direction, let me tell you.
Z-Whales with a demo on Defmoss. They're going to play a little bit more defense here. Defmoss on the wall, passes it over to Gravy. Gravy now kicks it, not quite. Looks like USD is able to kick it away from him. Gravy now kind of has an opportunity. Painted Heart goes for it, not quite. Just a little bit out of position there, playing on the other side of the ball.
It's okay. I think one thing that I'm noticing is that DSU's, they're rolling with the offensive pressure so much now that it's almost like they're almost hanging their goal, without a guy there. But I mean, hey, if you got the ball pushed up the whole time, why do you need a goalie, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of the game is, being on USD's half so far, and that's good for us.
Yeah.
But you have to be careful. You don't want to overextend and over-rotate too much to the point where you've got two people up, and then that one person gets back. Because if you get past those two people, then it's a 1v3 essentially. So you really have to be careful in situations like that. But so long as they keep the pressure up, keep the rotations up, and have that boost managed the entire time. And
although it didn't result in a goal, what a just beautiful ball control in the air there. Oh, all three of DSU's guys pushed up, and Tornadoes is going to have a free lane here, but Gravy's just quick enough to get back. Yeah, there we go. We were just talking about it earlier. That's such a scary position to be in there. Painted's going to do his best to clear.
Might be an open net. Oh, not quite the clear that Painted Heart likely wanted there for that situation.
I think the boys are getting a little aggressive here. Need to maybe tone it down just a tad. Let USD make mistakes rather than capitalize on their pressure.
And that's just something that happens. One tiny mistake, something just like not getting a strong enough clear, can literally be the definition between being tied up and being down one.
Deft is going to bring the ball almost all the way to the goal there. Gravy's going to reassume mid control, and
Gravy almost with a nasty clear there, and Painted Heart gets it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, and just when we start criticizing the 3-up strategy there, Painted is going to be the third man in that series of events to make that goal happen.
And what a creative idea to try to jump up. And, having all three people up, yes, you're really tightly together, but, you can still make plays in that situation. Like Gravy was trying to make another passing play going off, and unfortunately he didn't quite get the shot that he wanted, but, he had a really good opportunity to score.
Oh, and wow, Deft with a pretty nice shot over the middle there, but, unfortunately gets read by the USD guys. And, these teams are just both playing such good ball right now. It's very interesting. We're going to have an open goal on DSU's side again, and
Gravy just not quite able to rotate on that. Didn't quite expect him to miss on the first shot.
I mean, yeah, when it's a high-octane match like this, no pun intended, I think that you need to just take a deep breath and maybe try to go back to the defensive roots that won you the first two games and see if you can just maybe get something going on that end.
30 seconds left to go here. DSU down 1, but a lot of games to play with here as they're up 2-0 in the series. Sodak Jack there for a shot. Defmoss gets a nice save on it, but it gets bumped out of the way, and Tornadoes is able to slide it in.
Yikes. And I think with that one, it's honestly going to be... now we're going to stop thinking about this match and winning this one and maybe go back to thinking about the next one and what we could do to improve here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just one of those things like, hey, it's all right. Sometimes you have to toss up a game, but what can we learn from this game? How can we alter the result of the next game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think it'll be something that the DSU guys talk about here in the little halftime that we get between games. Although Deft, he's resilient. He's going to bring the ball over the middle here and going to try and prevent maybe some stat padding. And yeah.
As the ball goes down, it is going to be 1-2 for USD, 2-1 for DSU.
Yep.
And, you know, it was a pretty tight game up until the point where they got two pretty nice goals there at the very last minute of the game. It was a pretty tight game for the most part. And I think that while they're definitely beatable, we've seen that from the last two games that we played.
Oh, yeah.
There's some things that they might have to work on. We mentioned a little bit of like over rotation on offense. That was something that we saw one time where they got them a little bit off guard, Gravy being the last man back.
Right.
And you know, other than that, they really just have to make sure that their defense is solid, try not to get into that scramble defense like I mentioned before, and they should be pretty okay. I love the amount of aggression that they're showing on offense. They're really, really strong on offense. Now it's just like, okay, let's maybe work out a little bit of our defense, making sure we're not letting anything easy slide past us.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you summed it up perfectly. I think that the number one thing that DSU did wrong in that game was that they played the same way that USD played in the first two games, and they almost kind of just like flipped roles, and USD played the more defensive and methodical game that time. And you know, because let's be honest here, you know, USD is a really good team, and so they're gonna adapt. And it's can the Trojans here? Oh my goodness!
Gravy with an absolute snipe in the top right corner.
Wow. That was a really nice goal. Z Wales is going to try and pass it over the middle to his teammate or something there, and Gravy's just going to capitalize and do a little drift over top there. But wow, really nice goal. But no, as I was saying prior though, I think it's important that the Trojans also make sure that they adapt as well, because these USD guys are thinking about what they're going to do next and how they're going to improve the next game.
Gravy there for a shot, but gets kicked away by Tornadoes. Z-Wales now kicking it up towards Sodak. There for a shot. Painted Harp jumps up high to try to contest him. And he gets kicked back into the corner of DSU. Tornadoes now up for a shot, gets bottom right and just barely slips in.
Can't even be mad there. That was a really good shot and execution there by Z-Wales and Tornadoes.
What a nice pass from Z-Wales.
Yeah. That's gonna be one that's like, wow. Okay, well, not a whole lot we could have really done about that.
Yeah.
You know, just a solid play from the Coyotes there.
Gravy now taking it up, tries to go for a backboard shot there, goes up for the double touch but gets kicked away. Now Defmoss tries to get a 50 but gets kicked back towards mid, bounces high. Sodak Jack follows it up, a little bit of boost but not quite enough to get to the ball. Defmoss now a little bit awkward here, Tornadoes might go for a shot, Gravy's there. Off the backboard now, Painted Harp goes up for a 50. Gets kicked over to the wall of mid. Defmoss now going for a nice redirection. It might be an open net. It is.
Oh, look at that.
What nice placement there.
Deft is he's gonna bring himself into this game here as a scorer. And, well, what a beautiful goal there.
Yeah,
Long
very
goal,
nice
too.
placement, very nice redirect. He had to be fast. You know, he was being contested. And just so fantastic to see that placement there on the left side.
You know, everybody talks about Rocket League and their flip resets and all these incredible ways to score goals and things, but I think my favorite is always just the traditional, you know, open net in the back and I'm shooting a super long shot for something, you know, just awesome. Oh, and Gravy
tries to get for a goal here and it gets defended by both Gravy and Painted Harp. Now they're kicking it back. But yeah, that's a good point, actually. I know there are so many people that are like SSL, which if you don't know what SSL is, that's essentially the equivalent of being like top 500 in this game.
Sure.
It's a very, very minute percentage of the game that's, you know, managed to hit that rank. And I mean, there's some of those people in SSL that don't even know how to flip reset. They're just very consistent in rotations and game sense and understanding how the ball works mechanically. They don't really need to flip reset to do anything fancy to score goals.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's like, how fancy do you have to be? You know, if you're scoring goals more than your counterparts, right? You're doing something right.
USD tries for a scary shot here, but not quite able to get it on the mark. Gravy now tries to get in the corner. Tornado's not quite there for a shot. Defmoss goes high. Gravy in the corner, waiting for a touch from Sodak.
Defmoss is going to be completely out of boost here. I think, honestly, like, despite it not being a scoring shot there, kind of worked for what the intended purpose was, just to put Defmoss out of the game for a moment there.
Painted Harp with a free bounce off the wall. Not quite. It gets saved. Defmoss now playing, reading their defense. Kicks it over to Gravy, and they get a nice double touch. Painted Harp kicks it off the back wall.
Good clear over the middle there. Yeah, Painted Harp's just going to kind of push that back to the USD side.
USD playing a little bit slow on defense here. Painted Harp tries to push up forward, not quite. Gets a nice 50. Defmoss playing a little bit too close and gets past him up on the back wall now. Have a little bit of time to work with and re-rotate.
Oh, that was funny. I was just about to make a comment about how patient we were being, and then immediately we left the goal open. But no, like I think that this Trojan team has improved in this match as opposed to the prior one.
I agree. Yeah, they're playing very, very strong defense. I mean, they let one slide by. That was a very nice and coordinated shot.
Oh, yeah.
Pass
Yeah.
play. But other than that, they were playing so fantastic right now.
I know if I was in the esports room, like I said, I wouldn't even be mad about that. I'd be like, man, all right, man, you can have that one. Like, that was pretty cool.
Painted Harp gets past one. Defmoss kicks it towards mid. Looks like Sodak Jack's there for it. Painted Harp now kicks it up on the high ball. Tornadoes now. Tries to go for it. Gets a nice 50. And, Sodak Jack able to get the demo on Gravy as they were playing mid.
Honestly, that demo kind of set Gravy up to play some defense, though. Oh, my goodness. Such
Very
a close
tight.
shot.
Defmoss there for the save, though. Gravy now kicks it towards mid. A little bit scary once again, but Painted Harp reads it.
Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, heart skips a beat every time those middle shots, pushing hard towards the ground.
30 seconds left here. We're going to be seeing a lot of pressure here from USD, but so long as we can hold on, we'll be all right. Defmoss now trying to go for something. Almost gets demoed. Painted Harp kicks it over to the corner again. It's just back and forth from USD. Trying to just kick it into the corner as we get down to the final 5 seconds here. Gravy kicks it away.
Oh, and can this DSU defense hold up here as they're pushed up a little ways to try and look like they want to put more points on the board? And there it is.
That will be it.
DSU is going to get another one here in CCL, putting them at 2 and 4. And I believe the USD Coyotes will fall to 3 and 3. What an awesome matchup by DSU. I had faith. I knew these guys were going to come in here.
I knew that it would be a very tight game. Like I mentioned before, I've seen Tornadoes play. I've seen Z-Whales play. Sodak Jack, not so much. He's actually not in DCRL. But
Yeah.
I've seen the two of those guys play, and they're very, very strong mechanically, and they're so fast. Yeah. And seeing the performance from DSU, they're actually building a lot of chemistry. We're seeing. I hadn't seen the entire game. I don't know if I saw like almost a single double commit or time that it was really scary for them. They were pretty coordinated most of the time.
Or if it was a double commit, it almost looked intentional, like they were going to do some pass off a wall or something like that. Like we saw with that goal with Painted Harp, where he was just there and it was like, oh, okay, well, there it is. We take those.
Yeah,
but
very, very highly coordinated team there. They're building a lot of team chemistry, which is really nice. And we see Gravy. He's scoring goals left and right now. He's doing a fantastic
Gravy,
job.
honestly, in my heart, MVP of this match. He just demonstrated that the mechanics and everything that he just completely utilized to their fullest potential. It was awesome. Awesome to see Gravy go in there and just kind of honestly beat up on USD the way that he did. He was just slugging, man. Guy'd take shots. They'd always be on goal. Like, they'd be putting defenders out of positions and things like that. His ball control looked incredible. Like, Gravy's definitely, in my heart, MVP.
Well, don't go away. I think we've got a player interview coming up very soon. And as we take a look at the schedule here, we're going to be having another week coming up for us. And I think that this is going to be the last game of regular season here. So next week, we're going to be playing Minnesota Moorhead. And they're a very strong team as well. We've got some very, very tight competition with them as well. So make sure to tune in for that game. But don't go away. Don't leave your seats. We're going to be having a player interview coming very shortly. So
we'll be back soon.